code in the Bible.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I didn't need any evidence to believe in God. But this is like, okay, we see God's math in creation in these species. And the most remarkable thing is where these codes that are in lobsters appear in the Bible, because it's all about creation. Mm-hmm. So, I'm eventually going to, commit this to a PowerPoint and reveal it publicly, but not quite yet. When we do our product launch, I'll reveal that.
It's amazing too, because there are multiple verses, especially in the New Testament, where even Jesus talks about we will be able to do miracles greater than he. And if you had faith the size of this mustard seed, or as much as this mustard seed, you would say to that mountain, move, and it will move. And I don't know how so many religious people, Christians, or even just people who are not Christians and are just spiritual leaning, miss that. He talked about that we will be able to do these things as well. And I think that's what you're tapping into with the work that you're doing with LifeWave.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Sometimes I'll say that I think Jesus was the first anti-aging scientist because he said, well, my final commandment to you is love others as I've loved you. Mm-hmm. And a hormone that we associate with love is oxytocin. And interestingly enough, if you take a look at muscle tissue from someone that's older, 70, 80 years old, and you culture it with oxytocin, what you find is that the muscle tissue reverts to a younger, healthier state. Mm. So being in a state of love is not only great for the planet and great for relationships, but it actually improves people's health. So it's a great reminder that being in a state of love can resolve personal health challenges and probably most of the problems we face on the planet today, if people will do it.
Beautiful. And I just think back to images of like side-by-side images of someone like being told that they're hated or being like spoken to in a negative way. And then after that, the image, and just in telling them that they're loved, that they are loved and things like this, you see a side-by-side comparison and change almost instantaneously. And then think back to Dr. Masaru Emoto's work with plants, where he was speaking negatively to plants and saying, horrible things to them, and they didn't grow as well as the other plants that he was speaking lovingly to. And it's like, man, that's probably the greatest healing power that there is just being in a state of love as much as you possibly can. And I think that's what so many people in the natural health, alternative health space miss, is that you can use all these products and things and gadgets and biohack your way to health as much as you want. But if you're not living in a state of love, and specifically self-love, because I think most of our problems come from a lack of self-love. And I think people will say, oh, that's selfish to love yourself. And I'm like, no, I think so many people at some level hate themselves, which is why they project that outward to other people. And if we can get back to an understanding that we are so loved by our Creator, therefore we should love ourselves, that would then emanate outward and we'd begin healing.
Absolutely. People have a greater capacity for greatness than they recognize. They have whatever challenge people face in life, they have the capacity to deal with that with the proper mindset and with the proper attitude. And challenges in life, and I've certainly had my share, are opportunities to grow and become better people, if we look at it that way. But it's a matter of moving into a point of acceptance and saying, okay, I've got this challenge in my life. It's very serious for me. Am I going to break, or am I going to bounce? Am I going to take on this challenge, accept that it's there, and grow beyond it? Or am I going to allow it to get the better of me? We all have that choice. So, if we adopt a mindset of looking at challenges as opportunities, we can work towards resolution much, much quicker. And of course, I also think it's an opportunity to improve our relationship with our Creator. Mm-hmm. And it's not that we always go back to our Creator asking for things. We should be striving to have a daily relationship with the Creator, mm-hmm. and giving thanks every day that we're alive. We have people in our lives that love us, and we have so many things that many people don't have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think living in a state of gratitude helps facilitate that so much.
Without question.
Yeah. I want to transition now to talking about, actually, before we do this, let's talk one more patch, the glutathione patch, because I'm really interested in that one too. So glutathione patch, how does it work? What does it do? What is it best used for?
So, once I had a superhero showdown between glutathione and X39, and if they were to go head to head, who would come out on top and why? And X39 came out on top, but glutathione is not very far behind. So it is a tripeptide. It's found throughout the human body, and our lifespan is directly correlated to our body's levels of glutathione. For people that are vegans or vegetarians, they should take a supplement of N-acetylcysteine to make sure they have everything that they need to make enough glutathione. Glutathione supports immune function. It helps manage inflammation. It helps protect tissues from damage. And for those people that love to go out in the sun, glutathione will actually repair damaged DNA that was caused as a result of radiation. So there's thousands of clinical studies, maybe tens of thousands of clinical studies on the benefits of glutathione. The biggest disadvantage is how you keep it elevated. Oral supplements, if you take it twice a day, will elevate glutathione by 40% over a period of 30 days. With our patch, because it's stimulating the body with light, it'll elevate glutathione levels by around 300% in only 24 hours. So our patch has proven to be a very effective way at supporting glutathione levels.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I want to be respectful of your time too, so because there's a couple questions from the audience, but before we do that, if we could discuss what you're sharing with me before with respect to these mRNA products that have come out.
Okay. Well, when a very effective way at supporting glutathione levels.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I want to be respectful of your time too, so because there's a couple questions from the audience, but before we do that, if we could discuss what you're sharing with me before